Hello. I'm drinking the second Fiddle for the first time in a long time. So this is what kind of brought Fiddlehead Brewing Company to fame. Doing releases of this and having people line up years ago. It's 8% alcohol. The first time I had it, I know it's 8.2%. First time I had it about 5 years ago, I really liked it. And then I kind of avoided it because like whenever I saw my friends get it on tap or they shared cans, it was like very, very clear and not super flavorful. But of course I love regular Fiddlehead IPA, the hazy version they've been doing the last few years. That is nice and bitter and full-bodied, and really, really fruity and juicy and dank, but it definitely uses older-fashioned hop varieties, old sea hops. There's no Citra in it though, I don't think. But I think Second Fiddle probably uses newer fashion hops, probably Citra, maybe Mosaic. Not sure what other ones, probably just American hops, I think. So let's just jump into it. Oh, and I'm excited about this one because this is canned November 23rd, so it's only 8 days in the can. And I wonder if when they expanded, they revamped the recipe a bit, because that's definitely hazier than some that I saw a few years ago, but maybe those are just old cans or old kegs. It's not as hazy as their regular IPA, which is, kind of the opposite of what people think. Double IPA, new wave hops, it's going to be hazier, right? But they totally revamped their regular IPA, and it's one of my favorites. So I really need to return to this. And it looks, it's got a good haze. It looks kind of like Focal Banger does these days. It's, you can see your finger through it. It's got a good haze. It's very pale. It's not milky white. And the head is pretty nice, and I'm getting some good aromas out of it. Yeah, I still feel like it's not as explosive of an aroma as a regular IPA from them. Looks really good. The head's pretty nice though. It looks a lot like their other ones. It's definitely more on the tropical side. Yeah, it smells a little bit like Tip of Sunshine, or more like Double Sunshine maybe. Except this is probably paler. Yeah, there's like no caramely malts in this. This is just straight hops. It's a good mixture of like pineapple, tropical, but also pine in there. Maybe they use some Simcoe Amarillo in there. Yeah, juicy orange, pineapple pine. Very clean, not a lot of yeast esters. And a little bit of spiciness, but floral. It smells quite good. Yeah, if you like Honey Topper and Double Sunshine, this is sort of like in between maybe. It's got the tropical spiciness and floral bright qualities that Lawson's gets in their Sunshine beers. But then it's a little bit more bitter and a little I guess it's more hazy than Honey Topper maybe. It's a little more hazy than both Honey Topper and Double Sunshine. But it has some of that bitterness and some of that, it's not malty, but pininess maybe. I feel like it's a mixture of some slightly older hops and newer ones in here. The mouthfeel isn't really big and soft and silky. It's pretty full. And then it's quite spicy and piney and sticky in the finish. Wow. After a few gulps, it's almost got that resinous, piney bitterness, like a West Coast beer. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Interesting. And probably especially because it's super duper fresh. It's extra bitter right now. And I got a lot of warmth in the throat. I feel like it might be a tad boozy or like have some kind of phenolic character that's maybe bringing out some of the pine especially too. I mean, it's still pretty fruity, but it's getting very earthy, spicy, piney, all that stuff. Yeah, the flavor gets pretty intense. Yeah, it's overtaken my face with a not quite menthol sort of thing, but almost, yeah, your old-fashioned in your face pininess. Maybe it's almost like Pliny the Elder a bit in those respects. It's not as malty and silky smooth for sure. This is like very, very light on the malt. Same with the regular IPA. Wow. Yeah, their beers have bitterness, which I like. They're clean. They don't just smell and taste like candy. Not too sweet, and definitely have a good wallop of bitterness. It's definitely kind of related to Heady Topper and Double Sunshine / Ship of Sunshine, I would say. It makes sense being grouped into those Vermont double IPAs, so it becomes sort of iconic. This one maybe not as much, but it's I don't know, it's not doing it quite enough for me. It doesn't carry that fruitiness, but I do like that spicy bitterness. It makes it unique. But I probably wouldn't give this much more than a 4, maybe a 4.25, depending. I mean, maybe as I age it, I'll lose some of that, and some fruitiness will come out. The regular IPA definitely, well over a month old, it gets a little bit milder, and you notice more of the fruitiness rather than the dankness and the bitterness. But I would recommend this, especially because it's so easily available around here. It might not be that much different from some other IPAs. And it's also not super duper expensive.